It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, NRG.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey everybody, Leon Thomas here with Mike Weiner. You're here for another episode of NRG This Week. Hi Mike, how are you?
Super duper turbocharged, fired up. How are you doing, Leon?
Super duper turbocharged, fired up. That's four
You got
levels
it.
of good. Four
4
levels of
levels.
good.
How are you,
Right
my
on.
friend?
All is good, Mike. All is good. Now we're going to figure out here in a second what makes you super, super groovy and whatever else you said. Folks, you need to know this to learn more about networking and network referral group. You want to be in touch with the best networking organization in the world. You can contact and learn more about NRG by going to their website. That's NRG.online. And you can contact Mike. That's the other guy on the screen. Mike is the CEO and founder of NRG Network Referral Group. You can contact him, send him a text at 443-756-9656, and his email is mike at networkreferralgroup.com. Again, that's mike at networkreferralgroup.com. So, Mike, what's going on that has you so rocking and rolling? I know you're not going to tell me it's the Orioles, that's for sure. But go ahead. What do you
I'm
got for me?
not going to tell you it's the Orioles, and I'm not going to tell you I'm excited about Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. It's Leon. We have picked up our third lifetime member in NRG, Jeff Pearson. I'm going to get him on the show probably in 2 weeks. I've already got someone lined up next week, but I'm fired up. As you know, you are our newest lifetime member until Jeff, and over the weekend Jeff jumped in. So very excited about that. And we have a returning visitor who I know you're meeting for the first time, Stephen Green. And Steve and I are putting together a program of training that he's going to be doing, and I may be doing a. You may be calling me Professor Mike at some point, where we're going to be working with high school and college students initially in the U.S., but then across the world. Soft launch this summer, hard launch this fall, and even my fiance Tanya Meiser is going to be on the advisory board. So, Leon, this is the next generation of kids. They're going out and they're interviewing for jobs. They're going to 100 companies and they can't get a job. Or maybe they should run their own business. Steve and I are going to be the bridge between high school, college, and the career. And I'm super fired up about this. You and I have talked about, I'm going to be writing some books eventually. But in the meantime, Steve and I are collaborating. And Steve came to me. This is law of attraction because I've thought about it for a while. He approached me about it. I'm like, Steve, I've been thinking about doing something like this. So I've got some strengths. He's got some strengths. We're going to hybrid these together. There's a new word. We're going to hybrid these together, and we're going to be that bridge for high school and college students to the networking world, to the career world, and maybe to starting their own business. So that's why I'm super duper, whatever I said at the beginning of the meeting, turbocharged, excited, fired up, excited, not about the Orioles, but about what we're going to be doing to impact kids because they're going to need the help. There's a lot going on in the world, and Steve's a great guy. We've met recently. He was referred in by Anita Ferguson, longtime member, and Leon. I'm just excited. So that's why I'm so fired up.
Right on. That is great. That's a lot of good things happening there, and particularly when you talk about the college students
Yes.
and high school students knowing how to interview, how to network, because as they will experience as you get older and move into that career, it's all about networking, right? It's all about having folks that you know in your corner that you can have a relationship with. You never know where that's going to lead you to. So I'm excited to hear more about that. We won't even talk about me playing the trumpet. We'll wait till the midpoint break for that. All right, we'll wait till the midpoint break to go
Do
over
want to hear
my
that? I
trumpet.
do want to hear that.
Oh,
Are,
you
are
say
you
that?
kind of like Nick Man? You're kind of like Nick Mangione. You remember him in the '70s? You know how much I like disco. He did that song. Was it "Feel So Good"? And it was orchestral, and it was no music, but it was a trumpet. I think. Do you remember him?
I do not remember him. Do not remember him, but you're saying you want to hear it now. We'll see in about another 20 minutes if you really want to hear it or not, Mike. We'll
And,
see.
and I tell you what, Steve is from Philly. You know what's in Philly? Rocky Balboa. My favorite
Oh,
movies. Yeah.
oh, we won't hold that against him. He's from Philly. We won't hold it against him. Let's bring Dr. Steve Green on now. We were talking about the collaboration that y'all are doing. Let's bring him on now. Dr. Green, good afternoon. Welcome to NRG this week.
Yes, thank you. I'm
All right.
also super mega pumped to be here.
Super mega pump. So now, Mike just told me about the collaboration that you have. Now, for those that didn't watch a previous episode of NRG this week and they didn't meet you, and I wasn't on that episode either,
Hmm.
take 45 seconds to a minute and tell us who you are and what you do.
I consider myself a mentor to entrepreneurs. My pedigree is in the education world. I've worked in there 30 plus years, long time. Right? And I have had many roles: instructor, professor, teacher, business owner. And I realized several things about business owners. They need to have a business that has a service they can sell. They need to have a system to sell it, and they need mentoring. Mentoring is the accelerant. And I learned from working with these people for years, really what their pain points are, what their touch points are. And my mission in this particular case is to help them really create content. To me, my big thing is always communication, clarity of communication. Because if you can't communicate what you do or what you need, what you want, people aren't going to hear you. They're going to hear what you tell them. So the clearer you make it, the better. That's my specialty. And then to wrap it all around, what we're doing is I'm trying to introduce all these ideas, everything that I've learned, everything I've seen, all the experience I've had to this kind of next generation and hand it off, create a legacy project. It's a skills thing. This is really about life, business, networking skills that can be applied anywhere. Whether they start the next unicorn billion-dollar business or they just helps them interview better to get a starter job, first job, it's all win, right? And I'm not going to say it's the only place that they can learn it. There's other facilities, but it's targeted specifically for this, and it is built to be successful at the level I'm very, very accustomed to, which is working with high school and college kids as well. So I'm very excited about it. And then the last thing I'll say is we're plugging in to an extremely strong, long time existing professional network organization, aka NRG. So there's so many ways we can have interaction there. For example, as the students come through the program and they graduate, they could work with mentors. They could be mentored by somebody in the group, in the NRG group. So the more information, more experience, that's the whole key.
Hmm. Okay, right on. Now, Mike, how did you meet Dr. Green?
So Dr. Green was brought to me through a longtime member, Anita Ferguson. And what's so funny about this, Leon and Steve, is Anita sent me his information, and I couldn't find him on LinkedIn. So then she sent me the link. So then, amazingly, he and I start going back and forth. He showed up at a meeting that morning, and he joined that morning. And Steve, that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. We figured out this morning,
End of
and
May.
I said to you, I feel like we've known each other for my whole life because you and I are at the same vibration, law of attraction,
Mm-hmm.
servitude attitude, and you come in. You're one of those members that's come in like a bolt of lightning, and you and I just clicked right away. And so Anita Ferguson, Leon, who is going to be coming back in NRG, but she referred me, and a couple hours later, Steve was a member, and he's been a huge asset. And now we're collaborating together. It's Rocky and Apollo coming together in collaboration. How's that?
There you go. Well, I'll say this. One of the things I always teach my students, whether they're 60, 80 years old, or they're 18, is if you don't take action, you're not going to get anything done. Book smart is great. Information is awesome, but action is what gets things done, right? You could know everything, but if you don't put it into motion consistently, what do you got, right? So, yeah, this isn't. I don't want to make this into like a love fest, but that's what the first thing that really struck me about Mike and the group. It's just happening. There's no downtime. It's like, hey, how you doing? What do you want? Hey, here's 4 names for you. Hey, next, what do you want? Here's 4 names for you. Here's 6 names for you. So people want results. We live in an instant gratification world, right? People want results like in 5 minutes. People don't want to join a group and wait 4 months to get a good referral. So, all that aside, we got work to do. This is a big, ambitious project. My vision is my mission statement with this is to help to train the next 10,000 entrepreneurs. It's a lot of people, but we're the people to do it. And we got a system. I got a plan. I wrote about a 31-page business plan to do this. I gave Mike the abridged version, but
Cliff notes.
No, the Cliff Note version. But no, this is a really good, excellent idea project, but it has some moving parts, and there's things that we really need to make sure get done in a certain sequence. And I think we're going to graduate. I'm calling it the Student Entrepreneur Academy, SEA for short. There's going to be a lot of sort of academic jargon in it, hence Professor Mike, Professor Steve, whatever, however you want to be titled. Use words like graduate, graduate school, next level, major, minor, things that these kids are accustomed to. Because one of the things I've learned too is I don't care where you are, you got to meet people where they're at, right? You have to meet people where they're ready to begin. And that's going to be part of this as well. So I'm pretty fired up too. I just express it a little differently sometimes.
Okay. Right on. So now when can we expect this to get started, and where can students get information about the work that the two of you are going to do together?
Well, that's a good question. I can answer the first part for
Well,
sure.
of course, it's a good question.
The goal,
I only ask good questions here
that's
on
true.
NRG this week. Of
I
course, it's a
I
good
wanted
question.
to confirm the fact it was a good question. Now, here's the timetable. It is about the middle of June 2025 to timestamp this. The goal is to do a beta run in July and August. Get our first cohort, run them through the process, at least the initial phase of the process, and roll from there. We are in the process of developing a more, let's say, permanent registration process. But if somebody sees this before that's in place, they could connect with me on LinkedIn or wherever, and I can refer them into it, or you can go to Mike's, any of Mike's contacts as well. But we will have a more singular permanent registration process hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I don't have a site to give you for that, unfortunately.
Okay. And how will they? I'm wondering about the verbal marketing of it, Mike. Will they find out through NRG, or will this be from marketed to colleges, universities, employment counselors, college counselors, high school counselors? What are your thoughts there, Mike?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are going to actually have
that's two today. Two great questions.
I know.
That's two. I'm on a roll.
We're going to have a board of directors meeting. I think it's on the 27th of the month, Leon. So we're pulling together all my resources from NRG. Steve's pulling some resources. Yeah. Some of them are going to be international as well, but the board of directors, probably we've got 6 or 7 people already interested that are in the academic world. So yes, it'll be marketed through NRG. It'll be marketed through my efforts. It'll be marketed through Steven's efforts. It'll be marketed through us together. It'll be, definitely at the extravaganza. But right now, the date is the 27th. We're going to bring people together on a Zoom. I know Tanya, my fiance, she wants to be on the board because she has programs at her high school, Stephen, that she's already said will be able to help us.
Good.
And I've got several folks in NRG that are involved with colleges and so forth. So it'll be a collaborative effort, Leon, and
Mhm.
singular and collaborative. And
Yeah,
I
my
told Stephen, I think this is going to be much bigger than we expect.
Now,
well,
let me ask.
hopefully it will be. I mean, my answer, Leon, will be all of the above and more.
Uh-huh.
I think any way we can turn over bushes and get people, but I think that ultimately the goal would include people who are in the program sharing the idea with their friends. So let's say get 4 or 5 people from Penn State University, whatever, and then they would get involved. Hey, this is great. You guys got to get in. Tell their friends. You got to get into the next cohort. But I think initially it's just going to be an exercise in just raw, who knows who, networking, baseline things. I know a lot of people in the education world. Mike does as well. We know a lot of people in the business world who have connections this way. And it could also just be, people might have friends. Hey, you got a 19, 20-year-old kid. Maybe they want to get a leg up, learn about this, from a really trusted, reliable source that's got a great program. So we'll get some of that as well.
I like it. I like it. Now, at our company, the Leon Thomas Group, and folks, you can learn more about us by going to the leonthomasgroup.com.
There you
Someone
go.
told me I shouldn't say the anymore. It should be the. Okay, the leonthomasgroup.com. We occasionally have college students with us and even some high school students. And I'm going to tell you one of the things that we often have to remind those students in regards to business is communication. And it's things that I think are simple, but they don't know. And it's not their fault
Never taught
that
it.
they don't know because they've never been taught. Let me give you one example, and then I'd like to hear one from both of you before we take our midpoint commercial break. One of the things that I have to remind them to do is check your email and respond to the email. Even if it's a simple I got email received, thanks, or to check it. I remember one of our students was working with us. I emailed her on say Monday about something that's going on during the week, and she replies on Friday and says, "I'm just seeing this." I'm like, "Yeah, you're just seeing it because you just checked your email. It's got to be flying to your phone and everywhere else, to your mobile device, your tablet, and everywhere else. You have to check your email, right? And respond, right? That's if I were a guest speaker at your academy, I could do a 2-hour deal on check your email, respond to your email. That would be mine. Let's hear from both of you. What is something that definitely that age group, that college student, high school students, that they need to learn about as they go into business? That would be mine. Dr. Steve, let's hear from you.
That's an easy answer for me. They need to learn the skill of clear, concise, appropriate communication. Because we live in a soundbite world. Everything's abbreviated, BRB, TTLY, whatever, YL, whatever. When you get into a business world, you don't walk into your boss's office and go, "Hey, TTLY," whatever it is. There's things that still are there, right? So at the flip side of that is somebody asks you a question, you can't give a 14-minute answer. You can't be, "Well, when I was here and there," you can't ramble around. So a very important skill, to me, I call it concise, appropriate communication, clarity. I use that word a lot when I'm teaching this.
Right on. Mike, how about for you?
Leon, you talked about email. I would say text and voicemail messages because every once in a while I'll get a member and they'll be like, "Hey, I text them twice. I haven't heard back." Or I left them a phone message. Because, we've gotten into email and text and Facebook Messenger and LinkedIn. and there's still that phone that you and Steve and I grew up with, and returning calls, having the ability, even if it's a short text, hey, I got your message, been on Zooms, I will get back to you. Just respond, let them know that you got the message, and even phone messages. So I take your email thing, like Leon, and apply it to text and returning phone calls.
Right on.
Leon, you want me to give you a little spoiler here?
Uh-oh. Go ahead. Give me the
Okay,
spoiler.
so
Just don't tell me who's going to win the basketball game tonight.
no.
Don't tell me that.
We'll keep this on
Okay.
topic. I'm just going to say by title the name of some of the instructional units. I think you get the idea. People skills, business communication skills, networking skills, your story. I call it your story, which means very quickly who you are, where you came from, what your goals are, writing skills, video skills, and the last one would be kind of like I call it packaging, which to me means taking a disparate piece of information and putting it to one piece of information flow.
Mm-hmm. I like
now, there's
it.
more than that, but I think you
Yeah.
get the idea. This is an eclectic blend of topics,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to work every day. I mean, Mike, how many hats you got to wear in a day? Like 23? I don't know.
A lot.
Leon, probably you're right up there, especially if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So there's an element of, hey, you wake up in the morning, you might have to do 6 people's jobs today.
Mm-hmm.
You want to wear the crown. Sometimes the crown's heavy as an entrepreneur. So, these are all things that we want to be realistic about and teach people in a controlled situation at first. But there's going to be a lot of role playing. There's going to be a lot of hands-on, especially as they get into the live networking pieces of it. So,
I like it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break and hear about 2 minutes of commercials. Then we're going to come back and talk some more. Folks, you are watching NRG This Week. I'm Leon Thomas with the Network Referral Group's CEO and founder, Mike Weiner, and our guest today is Dr. Stephen Green. And we're talking with Mike and Dr. Green about the new collaboration they have formed, with the goal being to help college students and high school students in business. We'll be right back for more NRG This Week, right after this commercial break.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
From the creative team that brought you The Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What would we do without it?
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Hey, welcome back to NRG This Week. Leon Thomas here with Mike Weiner, and our guest is Dr. Stephen Green. We're talking about the Student Entrepreneur Academy. And again, to learn more about Network Referral Group, go to their website. That's NRG.online. And you can contact Mike Weiner. Mike's the CEO and founder. You can contact him directly. His email address is mike@networkreferralgroup.com, and his phone number is 443-756-9656. Right on. So before we took a break, Dr. Green, you shared some of the topics that would be discussed in the Student Entrepreneur Academy, and seems like it's you have some really relevant things there for students. And you mentioned there would be some role plays. So how about we do this? I'll be college student, right? I'll be college student, and Mike, you be a college student, okay? You know, it's almost every time I go into role play mode, and I think I should have like a prop in my hand or something, but I don't have like a book. I don't have anything I
Okay.
can
Like
use other than a racquetball racket, but that has absolutely nothing to
like
do
a
with
sweater with the your varsity leather
yeah,
on
the
it or
varsity
something, Leon?
sweater or something. I mean,
There
I have this hat right here, but that
you
doesn't
go. It's
say
like
college
a freshman
college
beanie
student,
kind
you
of
know,
thing.
but
There
you
you
get
go.
the idea. I'm college student. Take 2 minutes and teach me something. Let's go through what a role play would be like for just only 2 minutes. Give us a short piece of it, because a lot of times folks hear role play, and I
Mhm.
know that in my time as a hospitality trainer, number one, it's hard to get people to stay enrolled, because instead of just doing what they would do, they say, what I would say next is, and what I would do next is. And we really want the role play, but also I want to highlight how you're going to be in the class,
Mhm.
what type of instructor you're going to be.
Mhm.
That's going to drive people to attend the Student Entrepreneur Academy. So take it away. Go ahead. I'm your college student.
One of the things we're going to learn about in this academy is why you want to take this journey. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? What is your goal? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to put together 3 sentences. That's it. No more, no less. Who you are and what you're doing now. Who you are and what you're doing now. Second sentence is what your goal is. I am Dr. Steve Green. Right now, I am putting together the Student Entrepreneur Academy. The third sentence is, what's the outcome going to be for yourself? I'm Dr. Stephen Green. Right now, I am putting together the Student Entrepreneur Academy. My goal is to train as quickly as possible the next 10,000 entrepreneurs we're going to see in this world. So this is your mission. 3 sentences. Okay. Who you are, what your goal is, how that goal is going to benefit, or what the outcome of that goal is going to be. Everybody got it?
I think so. I think I
Now,
can
from the
do
side, normally we would take a little more than a minute and a half to do this.
right.
So
Okay.
the way I would teach this is we'd start with the first sentence, which is obvious, but some
Okay.
people stumble on it. So yeah, who are you, and what's your goal?
Okay.
So why don't we just try that?
All
Leon,
right.
who are you? What's your goal?
My name is Leon Thomas, and my goal is to be the head basketball coach at UCLA.
All right. How about Mike? Mike, who are you? What's your goal?
So I'm Michael Weiner. I am a senior at Towson State University, which I did graduate from in '86. But for right now, I'm a senior at Towson State. I want to start my own business, Dr. Steve, but I hear that most businesses don't get out of 5 years and they're gone. What can you bring from the academy to help me make sure my business is successful and it runs for 30, 40 years so I can ultimately sell it?
All right. That's an excellent question. And I'll answer it, and then I'm going to give you a little critique. So the
Okay.
answer is businesses thrive because they provide a solution to a common problem. Okay, this is nothing I invented. This goes back to whatever, cavemen.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be able to solve a problem, and you got to ask yourself this: is the problem that you're going to solve constant forever, or is it going to change? Okay. A lot of businesses, Mike, were thriving in February of 2020, were bankrupt in October 2021. Okay. What happened in between? The big adjustment of COVID, because the people did not understand that the problem they were solving changed or maybe was eliminated. So to answer your question, you need to be flexible, you need to be forward thinking, and you need to take action. All right. That said, that was a very, very, very long sentence.
I know.
And our mission here is conciseness and clarity, right? So anyhow, all right. So here's what we got: who you are now, what's your goal. Now here's our last one. Here's our number 3 of 3. What positive or negative, if you want to go that way, effect will happen if you can reach that goal. So, Mike, in your case, you're now flash forward 25, 30 years from now. You run a business for 30 years. What would happen if you achieved your goal?
My goal would be to have the premier networking organization on the planet.
And
So
then
what would happen is
how would that impact you or other people?
it would impact people from networking and help grow their business so that they can thrive and survive and do well.
All right, beautiful. Now, internalize that. Just remember what you just said. Leon, your turn.
I will win 6 national championships as basketball coach at UCLA. And what that will do is provide numerous education opportunities for my athletes, because I'm going to make sure that they graduate and have success after basketball. I'm going to provide opportunities for assistant coaches to move on to be head coaches. And
Beautiful.
from all the bazillions of dollars that I'm going to make, I'm going to give a lot of it back to community projects.
So here's the thing. Here's the takeaway. What I want you to understand is how much you can communicate information-wise and impact-wise in just a small, concise 3 sentences. See? And this is what people sometimes don't understand. People think, not always incorrectly, but they think that they have to just go on and on and on and on to make a point, right? So this is just one of the, I don't know how many, 37 skills we're going to teach in this thing. And by the way, before I forget, Leon, there is going to be a faculty. You could be a guest professor.
Right on. Right
I mean,
on.
if you qualify. I mean, Mike's on the hiring committee for that, but
if I qualify,
no, seriously.
If Mike says I don't qualify, here's what happens to Mike. Okay, there we go. He's done.
No, but one of the goals, in all seriousness, is there is so much. Listen, it would be so naive and so ridiculously wrong for me to think I'm the only one that knows to teach business advice. It's not even close. There are hundreds of people, thousands of people that forgot more than I know, right? So I want to leverage all that. Mike's got a group with 380 members, right? 400 members,
Yep,
Mike, plus or minus.
Yep.
And Leon's one. I mean, look at the talent there. I mean, just collectively, look at the talent. Look at all the things. If you said to everybody in NRG, what is the one thing you learned in all your time as an entrepreneur you would want to share with the future entrepreneurs? Just one thing. We could have 200 pieces of advice right there, right? Maybe more. Maybe everybody's would be different. Maybe a little tiny bit overlap. But this is the kind of thing. This is where the synergy between the concept and the existing group can be so powerful, because we're taking advantage and leveraging the experience of all these professional people who have been there, done that, and maybe taken a couple lumps because entrepreneurship isn't always pretty. And they can bring this knowledge. This is where the mentoring comes in to the cohort and the population of this academy.
Right on. Right on. So here's what we'll do now.
Yeah, what's
typically we have a segment on the show where it's just the guest and Mike talk, communicating together. We're going to go ahead and allow that to happen. But Mike, this time it's only a 4-minute segment. 4-minute segment. You and Dr. Steve go ahead, and I'll be back.
I got 2 questions. Thank you, Leon. All right, so Steve, I know we've only got 4 minutes left. So 2-minute question, if you can answer it in 2 minutes, and then the second one, what's the backstory in 2 minutes or less Why did you come up with this idea? I know why I came up with it, because I've got two sons and I see what's going on in the world. 2 minutes or less. What's the backstory for you? Why did you come up with this incredible? And you know why it's incredible? Because I also thought of it. What's this incredible vision that you had? Give us in 2 minutes.
I was a teacher and a college faculty person for many years, and one of the things I saw was you can't always teach people skills. And I saw some very brilliant people. They were so book smart. They took their studies very seriously, and then they would get out. They had trouble having that same success in the real world because they were never taught how to work with people. And I'm not saying everybody's got to be lovey-dovey, kumbaya, best friends, but when you're in a workplace, you need to know how to communicate with people. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to know how to sell. You got to know how to communicate what you do. Yeah, you can make websites. You can automate things to a degree, but at some point, you have to be able to do this. So I felt, and this is not a criticism of the education system, but I felt there was a void where this type of people skill, business skill, networking skill wasn't being taught at this age. Yeah, there were places you could learn it, and there's other organizations that do it. And that's what I thought was just really, really important, because ultimately my goal is potential maximization for people who are my students and people who are my clients. If your ceiling's here, I want you getting at least here. If your ceiling's here, we want to go there. Everybody's individual, right? Some people can jump higher, some people can run faster. But I want you to reach your potential because you have every skill you need to do it. And that's my goal.
While you're talking, I'm thinking about my term I'd come up with. It's the bridge from high school and college to a career or running their own business. So,
yeah.
All right, last question.
That could be in our logo. We need a logo.
Yeah, there you go. There is a station called The Bridge.
Yes, there is.
Satellite. I don't know if you've heard
on
that.
XM. It's my wife's favorite station. Anyway, go ahead.
The Bridge, yeah. NRG. We got 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have known each other 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's been an incredible ride, and the journey has just begun. There are so many people out there that don't know, they've not seen a good networking group. Take 2 minutes. We're going to wrap up with this, and we'll bring Leon back because I got to land in 15 minutes. One of my 34. What is it about NRG that has really just blown you away? Because you've been a really big part of NRG, and you're very new with me in the realm of 25 years. What is it about NRG that people need to come out and see?
I could list a number of things here, but I'm going to start with results. Think about it. Why do people go to networking meetings? They want referrals. I have never left an NRG meeting, and I've probably been to 20 without at least one, sometimes as many as 4 or 5 referrals. Okay. So if you just want to talk sheer results, right there. Number 2, quality of people. Yeah, right. I mean, you got some high quality people in these rooms. You got people that are willing to contribute. They're willing to share, and they're strong players in their fields, and that's what you want. You're as good as the people you hang out with. All kinds of sayings about that. I think the third thing I would say is that the way the meetings are run, this is a credit to you, Mike, fast, action packed. It just bangs around. As Lee say, it's like a pinball, right? So there's no downtime. You're not hearing the same commercial somebody does every single week over and over and over. It's all driven to the results and taking action, because that's why people are there. People are busy. People don't want to come to a 2-hour meeting to get to talk for 30 seconds and maybe, if they're lucky, get a referral. So I could go on, but those are the 3 I would say for right now.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. So we are going to bring Leon back on. Steve, it's been great having you here. I'm glad we and Leon have known each other a minute and a half. We go back 2.5 decades, 25 years, and we've created a great business relationship, friendship. He's actually videoing my wedding in October, so super excited about that. And if you folks are watching this, Leon can do your events. That's what he's there for. And Steve's a great guy. So Leon, I'm going to turn the baton back over to you in Studio 54.
Studio 54, right on. Thank you, Mike, and thanks for the shout out. We are excited to to broadcast and record your wedding with Tanya. You know, when you look at the king or a prince gets married, right? They broadcast it and put on this major deal. That's what you're gonna have. That's what you're gonna have, Mike. We're gonna really bring it out, and we're looking forward to that. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you,
You're welcome.
Dr.
Thank you.
Stephen. It's great to meet you. Sorry I wasn't here the last time you were here for NRG this week, but it's great to meet you. I look forward to staying in touch with you,
Yeah.
and me being a part of that, or even a guest lecturer, whatever you call them at this student
Faculty.
entrepreneur
We like using the word
academy.
faculty.
Faculty.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Long as you didn't call me adjunct, because I break that up. That sounds like adjunct. You know, it doesn't sound, you know.
We'll take you right to full professor.
Oh, right on. Can I get full professor? That means I get tenure.
Yeah, sometimes yes. Sometimes yeah. Actually, you would.
Right on. It's great meeting you, folks. Again, to learn more about Network Referral Group, go to their website. That's NRG.online. You can contact Mike Weiner directly. His email address is mike@networkreferralgroup.com. You can send him a text. I don't say shoot him a text anymore because you don't want to shoot anybody. Send him a text, 443-756-9656. And to get in touch with Dr. Steve, his email address is, Dr. Steve's email is drstephengreen.biz. And you can also find him on LinkedIn at the information that's displayed at the bottom of the screen, LinkedIn, and you want to do a search for Make the Grade. Folks, thanks for watching another edition of NRG This Week. We'll see you next time. Take care.